Hey guys, welcome to what is going to be the first episode of something that I like, which is a little brain baby of mine. I'm going to call it Meet and Eats, and I just get in people I find interesting and make a video with them and give them a little interview, just a little chat. I think interview is a very formal way of saying it. We're just going to have a yarn.
Just have a little bit of a yap.
Yeah, have a little bit of a squabble, you know.
Yep.
But yeah. If you don't know, this is Dido ASMR, a very prolific
thank you.
ASMR artist on YouTube and one of our personal friends. So it kind of just felt right to start this with him since he was the first person I had the idea to do this with. So I'm going to go through and I think I'll kind of communicate with whoever I bring on about what we should eat. After all, it's going to be called Meet and Eats. So what do we have today?
We have some tacos from, is it GDY? No, GDMX?
CDMX. Taquera.
Okay.
So it's a place in Melbourne.
Yeah.
We're staying in Melbourne CBD right now. We came down for a concert and to have a shop and a feed as well. So we got some very nice looking tacos. And they're birria tacos. They're delicious. And honestly, this was my recommendation. I didn't really let him have a choice unless he found something else that he liked and we would have eaten that. But so we're just going to have lunch and just have a chat. So I have some questions here that you may have seen that I've been preparing.
That sounds good.
But
let's get cracking.
Let's dig in first because I'm starving.
You didn't get a drink, did you?
No, I don't need a drink. I'll be alright.
You don't want any water?
No, you're alright.
Well then, cheers.
Cheers. Works for me.
Oh. Thank you very much for having me on. It's the first guest. It's an honour.
No, it's alright. It's alright. Now we can do a return episode.
We can.
Hopefully I have another few guests by then.
That would be interesting. It would be cool to see how it goes over the next few episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I'll get a tip going. And we'll have a cheers.
All right.
Chink.
Had these the other day. Loved them, so that's why we're getting more.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to cut so much chewing time out of this. So first question I've been wanting to ask you, how did you first get started on YouTube?
Well, it's actually a funny story because I actually haven't mentioned this too much to my viewership and fan base, but I actually had so many secret YouTube channels growing up as a kid, all the way down to I was 12, 13 years old. In fact, I still have some channels that I've not been able to take down that have videos of me that I can't take down because I don't know the passwords, but they'll never get released. But they were all just random ones, some gaming channels, some magic channels because I really like my card magic and stuff. But then I discovered ASMR in 2014. And I listened to it for obviously a few years, and it got to the point where I was like, do you know what? I love making YouTube videos. Why don't I try and make an ASMR video? Give back to the community, try a little bit myself. I love making videos, so we'll see how it goes. And I absolutely loved it, so I kept at it. And it was great. It was a good experience.
Well, you're obviously very good at it.
Thank you.
Do you think that just came with time, or do you think you kind of came into it and were like, fuck, I'm pretty good at this?
I would definitely not say, especially for ASMR, it's something you can immediately be good at. Some people can be naturally gifted, and you could just say they've got a really relaxing voice. I would say you just have a naturally good.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Voice.
Which is funny because I'm not a relaxing person to be around.
He is.
I have my moments, but no, I know what you mean. Those young channels that have 100 subscribers,
and they just naturally,
just this person can do this.
But
this is great.
For me, when I go back to my older videos, I honestly think this sounds awful. I'm my voice, my whispering voice has kind of grown since then.
More refined.
Yeah, it's definitely become more refined. And I feel like I've adapted to the ASMR style and been able to use triggers and sounds more efficiently, get the best sounds out of them. Whereas when I feel like when I first started, it was very. You could tell that I was new at it, even though I'd listened to it for years. I was trying too hard.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Understandable, I guess. Yeah. What would you be doing if you never started ASMR? See, I know the answer to this question, but I think this is a lengthy topic that we can talk about.
Well, it's an interesting one because I still would love to do it, like right now, and still do ASMR at the same time. But I feel like with the particular type of job that it would be very physically demanding. And that would probably just be being a teacher, being a maths teacher, because whilst I was creating ASMR videos, I was still at university studying for my maths degree. By the way, I love how you've had like 1.5 and I've just had half. But yeah, I graduated with a maths degree, and my plan, which was also another friend of mine's plan, was to go straight on to doing a 1-year teacher training course to become a maths teacher. Teaching runs in my family. Like my granny was a teacher, my mum was a teacher and isn't anymore, but works with teachers. My auntie's a teacher. I just know so many teachers, so I was like, I give it a go myself and see how it goes. However, when I first started my teaching year, it's not that I didn't think it was for me, I just didn't think it was for me right now. So I was like, I'll continue at the ASMR, see how it goes for a wee while, and obviously it's been going amazing. So I'm happy that I'm taking advantage of the fact that ASMR is popular, YouTube is going strong, and that I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, good. Was any of your family ever your teacher? Or teach at the schools that you went to?
No, I think in Scotland...
Not allowed?
Oh. No, it is allowed actually, I stand corrected. I think you are allowed to go to the same school as your parent, but you're not allowed to be taught by your parent.
Okay, it's like a conflict of interest kind of thing.
But I opted out of going to the same school as my mum, because my mum is Catholic, so she actually works at a Catholic school, and I'm not religious at all, so I didn't really want to go there.
You didn't want to kind of center around that. That's fair. Do you have a goal with YouTube? Like, is there a vision in your head, or are you just kind of slowly building it as you go and taking what comes and what you think of at the time?
It's a really good question, because sometimes I'm like, yeah, I do have goals. So, for example, my goal for the end of the year is to get 350,000 subscribers. Obviously, only a month to go, and I still have, I think, like 4,000 left to hit that goal. So obviously setting little goals as you go is a very good way to track your progress, see how you're going. But obviously my ultimate goal would maybe someday to hit 1 million subscribers. You never know. But I do also just love seeing how it goes, how it comes naturally, because you can't force things on YouTube. It's nothing that you can... I feel like
I've noticed that. I feel like the smaller goals, especially with like you and Jade, there was more, not more chance of hitting them, that's not the right way to say it, but there's more enjoyment in hitting the small goals, because they're not easier to obtain. Obviously there's a lot of work that goes into it, but I feel like setting a big goal in a smaller time frame,
you don't want to let yourself
kind of got disappointed, and you're like, what am I not doing right and stuff like that. When you guys are doing a lot of stuff right, it's just you're working on an algorithm that but nobody understands. I don't even think YouTube understand their algorithm, to be honest with you. It's just a bunch of little monkeys behind the scene throwing bananas, but it's it's an interesting space, but I think that's good that you have the small goals.
For sure.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Being here, what do you miss most about home? Because I know you like a lot of things here.
Oh.
If anything.
Well, obviously my family's not here. That's one of the biggest things. I can't not mention that. My family not living in Australia is a very huge thing. You know, if they lived in, or for example, if Australia was in Europe, it would maybe be a lot easier, because it would just be a few hours away on a flight. But if I want to go and see my family, or have my family come and see me, hypothetically, if I lived here, it would be really difficult, because it's a 24-hour plane journey to go and see them. So being far away from them is very, very tough. Same with some of my friends as well. So that's probably what I miss the most.
Yeah.
Another thing I miss the most is the goddamn food. I miss my Wingstop. It's my favorite takeaway. But no, there's good wing places here in Australia. So
It's so funny you say that, because if we did this video at home on the Gold Coast, I was going to get Sitchos, which is like our wing place. It's not Wingstop, from what I've heard, but it's still good. Like, we love it. It's delicious wings. So yeah, that would have been a nice little home sentiment for you, but you're stuck with birria tacos. But these are delicious.
these are very good.
These are like a staple every time I come here. I land, drop the bag, walk straight to get tacos. And they've been here
The
the last
brisket
3
is
times.
so good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the way they make birria is it's top notch. They do a damn good job. Little segue off that question. What are you going to miss most about here when you go home, other than me and Jade, obviously?
Well, similarly, yeah, of course I'm going to miss my friends and family here. Although I don't have any family here, so I'm going to... Well,
You do not.
technically I do. I've got family that lives in Melbourne that I never knew about, but we didn't go and meet them.
No.
We were filming. Things I'll miss, probably the weather the most. That's one of the biggest things I'll miss. I love the hot weather because at home it was snowing. Just December right now. It's been snowing back home. Whereas here it's nice and sunny. And I was saying today, like, it was like 24, 25 degrees maybe at the moment, and sunny, and it's the 1st of December. Like, it's crazy, and I'm just not, I've never experienced that in my life. So that was cool. It's like, imagine you went to Scotland and experienced the snow in December. You'd be really confused.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you'd be like, I'm not used to it being like this.
I was so hopeful when we were there it was going to snow, but it was like October, and everybody was like, "You're an idiot. It's not going to snow. It's October. There's no chance of it snowing."
Well, you never know.
It'll be cold, but it's not going to snow.
It has snowed in October before.
Well, it didn't when I was there. Ridiculous.
Other things I'll miss. Australians are really friendly. Like, don't get me wrong, Scottish people are friendly, but you wouldn't naturally walk past someone in Scotland and just be like, "Oh, hi, how you going? How you doing?" Whereas here, literally everyone does that. Everyone acts like they just know each other, which is weird.
Not so much in Melbourne, but definitely in the Gold Coast.
In the Gold Coast, at least, from where I've been, yeah.
And there are people like that in Melbourne. And honestly, everywhere in Australia, Australians in general are quite friendly, but the Gold Coast is a lot more laid back than a lot of the other places you've been in Australia. But yeah, very good point. This is a good question. I like this question.
Okay.
Because I came up with it. Did you fall in love with ASMR before you really got into it? Or do you think you kind of fell in love with it, fell into doing ASMR and then grew to love it from doing? You know what I mean?
Explain it again.
Did you love ASMR and then decide to start creating it? Mm-hmm. Or did you start creating it and then grow to love it after creating it?
I'd say for me, because throughout high school, especially when I was diagnosed with epilepsy, I really struggled sleeping. So ASMR, I really heavily relied on, and it was something really big for me.
Yeah.
And it was able to help me with stress and anxiety and things like that, and insomnia. So I really, really liked it due to that. I also just found it entertaining to watch sometimes.
Fair.
But then having created my channel and creating videos, it's become such a huge part of my life that I couldn't imagine life without ASMR.
Like you fell in love with the nuance of it after
Yes,
starting to create it.
exactly like that,
Like the finer details about it.
Yeah, exactly like that. You couldn't have put it better.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel that. I feel like it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I feel like I shied away from enjoying it, and I enjoyed like the basic things that I liked, like rain sounds and stuff like that, and I just stuck to that. Mm-hmm. And then watching Jade create it, watch her videos, and then creating it with her and stuff like that. It just kind of like, you know, it's like if you eat chicken nuggets for 20 years and you're like, I don't like anything else. And then one day someone feeds you a birria taco, you're like, holy fuck, what have I been doing with my life, kind of thing.
It's just meant to be like an accurate representation of my life.
Yeah, no pun intended, but yeah, it's like just those little finer things where you're like, I would have never thought that, taking a silicon scrubber onto a mic was something that just switched off every noise in my brain and made me so relaxed. Who would think of that? Who would think that that's what relaxes you?
I think especially the difference between being a listener of ASMR to a creator of ASMR is being a creator of ASMR, it's really amazing to see the amount of people that you are affecting with it, rather than being one of the people that you are being affected by. Obviously, being able to enjoy ASMR and have it benefit your life is such a huge bit, but being able to do that to thousands of people over the world it's really satisfying almost. It makes you feel good.
No, I really got that watching Jade create and everything, and how much it helped her, but also watching how much it helped
seeing
people
the comments as well.
Help her.
Yeah.
Like there was the two sides of it that helped her a lot. And
it works both ways.
Yeah, that was a really beautiful thing to kind of see and watch happen. Well, this is a controversial subject, but what was your least favourite part about being here?
In Australia?
Both trips.
Least favourite part so far of this journey, actually I've got a generic one for both of them. The generic one for both of them, I have really sensitive skin, so the generic one for me would probably be having a bad reaction to some of the heat over here.
Fair.
But if I'm being more specific, I would probably say either just the plane journey for the way here was really, really tough. And then the first trip, I don't know. The first trip was so amazing.
Because that first time...
It's my first time in Australia, yeah. I actually cannot think of a bad thing about it.
Yeah, I feel like the heat's gotten you pretty bad this second time you've been.
Yeah. I haven't got burnt, though.
No,
that is the only good thing. It's just my skin has reacted
I feel like we're not going to let you get burnt.
Thank you.
Because we're always so switched on to sunscreen. Don't go out at 1 p.m. on a sunny day, because that's when you're just going to get absolutely smashed by the sun. Well, this one's good for this, but what was your favourite meal here, takeaway or dine-in?
In Melbourne specifically so far, I really liked what we had last night. What was the name of that place?
I can't remember the name of it. There's China Bar, so it's a 24/7 Chinese spot in Melbourne CBD. Yeah, it was delicious.
Say that again, because I spoke. Sorry.
That's alright, I'm probably not going to cut it. I wasn't going to.
We have a live studio audience, if you couldn't tell, our camera lady.
But Jade lovingly remembered, because I completely forgot. It's called China Bar.
But that was really good. I got a honey chicken and rice, which I couldn't finish because I got really full, but it was delicious. And then my favourite thing in the Gold Coast is it's probably just got to be Cichos.
Yeah, fair.
The chicken wings.
That's fair.
So good. They're amazing.
Right. What about your favourite home-cooked meal?
Favourite home-cooked meal that you've done, because KJ has been very kind and cooked for us a few times. I think my favourite one that you did, just a few, would probably be the first trip when you did the kangaroo.
I was going to say, I thought because
the kangaroo and the sweet potato and...
That might sound insensitive to people who aren't from Australia.
Yeah.
But kangaroo meat is we do eat it here. It is an animal that isn't endangered or anything like that. They are beautiful animals, but it's the same as a cow and a sheep here. There's enough of them, and they're
Same with wallaby.
Yeah, we don't eat wallaby, but there's.
Do you know?
No. Well,
I actually didn't know.
Some people probably do, but they're more. It's an ethical hunting thing here. Anyone who understands anything about hunting, there's an ethical part of it that is actually it's good for the environment, and especially here. There's places that have an abundance of kangaroos that actually do damage to the environment if they're let go. So I just want to clear that up before someone comes to me.
I apologise to all
kangaroo
vegans and vegetarians watching, or anyone that's
Hey, I ethically source all my meat. Thank you very much. Grass-fed, organic. So we do that right. Mm-hmm. But I just want to clear that up because I know if you're not from Australia, if you're not from Peru and someone talks about eating guinea pigs and stuff like that, it's just such a whoa, what do you mean it's a pet? But it's just a different culture. It's a different lifestyle. But yeah,
That was delicious.
This next one's a little bit deep. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Okay.
But do you ever feel like you get lonely because you work from home? Or do you feel like the online connection with people interacting with your videos and what you're creating helps fill that?
I would definitely say sometimes it can get lonely, yeah. Especially, I found over the last year and a half, it can be quite lonely because recently I moved, I say recently, it was a year and a half ago, I moved out to live on my own. Mainly because I wanted a bit more independence, but also because being in a flat on my own was easier to do ASMR. Whereas being with family, I had to find the right times to film after they go to sleep. And my family, if you're watching this, are not the quietest of sleepers.
Which one? Name and shame.
All three.
All three.
In particular. Yeah, they're not very quiet. But I was about to say, I've forgotten the question, but I remembered it. It can get quite lonely. But I feel like even sometimes before, I'm so grateful for the community that I have, because I'll often find myself just getting lost in doing things to keep myself entertained with the job. For example, when I go live, sometimes I just don't want to end the live stream because it's so fun interacting with them all. But it's still so nerve-wracking doing what I do. Like before I go live, every stream I do, you'll think even after doing it for years, before every stream, I get so nervous because of the amount of people that are going to be watching me and doing, like I said earlier, about how ASMR is so beneficial for people. I got to be very careful with that and very, respectful of it, doing it right, and it's obviously been amazing to do. So.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think doing it right and doing it the way that you also feel comfortable doing it is a big thing.
Yeah,
of course. No, it's good. This is we've already covered a lot of food, but since it's very food centric, I'm going to ask this question anyway.
Yeah, no, go for it.
What's your favourite meal to eat out in general, Australia or at home, versus what's your favourite home comfort food?
Favorite, can it just be anything for favorite home comfort food? Or
Yeah.
will it be, okay.
Yeah.
Favorite home comfort food, honestly, just a bowl of melon. Just any kind of melon. I just love to sit there and eat.
That's fair enough.
It's just delicious, and I could eat it for hours.
I remember how happy you were when you were chopping up watermelon. When we were back at home. That makes sense now.
But then going out and getting food, it would probably be in a good Italian restaurant. There's a good one that I won't disclose the name of near where I used to live that we would go with my family, and we still go to with my family like every birthday celebration. And it's just because the pastas and the pizzas they do, just so delicious. And one of my favorite meals is a carbonara.
Yeah. Okay.
So they do a really good carbonara, a really good Toscana as well, and they're just so delicious what they do. So it's got to be Italian foods all the way.
Fair. I feel like before you leave, I'll try it. Make the carbonara that I make for Jade that Jade can eat.
Or a really good American hot dog, like the
You love your hot dogs.
hot dogs.
Maybe that's what we should have done. We should have eaten hot dogs.
We should have.
Episode 2.
Next time.
The return.
The return of Dido
return
ASMR with
episode.
More Australian stories.
So what's next for you? What's coming out? Do you have anything planned? Do you have anything you want to
Coming
tell
out
the people?
soon? Well, it's getting towards the end of the year. I don't... Usually, I used to do these big end-of-year recap videos, but I don't have one for this year, and I'm kind of regretting it because I wanted it to become a staple on my channel. But obviously, I'm going to keep up with the Battle of the ASMR Artists series, which have been pretty big on my channel this year. I've had some awesome guests on them.
You have, that's very true.
And I do have a very special guest coming on it as the last one of the year. So I'll keep that secret.
Yeah.
But it's going to be exciting. So that's going to hopefully continue through to the next year as well. And other than that, that's pretty much, I just go with the flow with my channel, really. I just see how it comes naturally. Maybe I'll have some good role plays coming out next year. I'll keep up with all the classic card magic videos and stuff.
I was going to say, I feel like I like that there's so many facets to the ASMR you do. Like from your magic and you role play like through everything that you do. And your lives are continuous lives. There's so much there that it's kind of like you don't have to get focused on one thing. Like if you get bored of one thing, you can go focus on.
Try and keep it nice and diverse.
Yeah, exactly.
The content,
I really like that, and I think I speak for everybody when I say we need more magic videos. Because I love the magic videos. It's so good. I wish I could do magic like that. But,
maybe
I feel like that's part of it.
I'll teach you a trick.
That would be.
And
that
you
would
can
be
do
sick.
it for us.
That would be mad if you could do that. But yeah, no, a lot of respect. I feel like I'd lose the magic from it if I knew how to do the tricks.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching someone do a magic trick, you're like, I know how to do that.
Right. I always say that in my card magic videos. When I do a card magic ASMR video, people love it when I teach a trick in the video. So I always, because you know, it's like the relaxingness of learning how the trick is done and stuff. So I always do that for one trick of every card magic video. But I always put a big disclaimer saying, if you don't want to see how it's done, skip to the end of this part, just in case, because you know there's people out there that want to, like yourself, keep the magic and don't want to ruin the magic. But I understand that entirely, so
that's fair.
It's respected.
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you for
Me too. It's been great. Thanks
very
very much.
It's a bit of a try run for something.
I appreciate it. Are we going to see if we can get a
first
shot? That was not bad. That was not bad.
There was a bit of pop there.
It gives me like a 6. It's a 6 kind of vibe right there.
Well, thank you guys if you've watched this all the way through, even if you've watched bits and pieces. This is, like I said at the start, this is a little baby of mine that I've always wanted to do. So tell me if you have any ideas. Tell me if you want to see anybody on here. I'll do my best to get my manager on to getting them on the show. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you thought. Tell me if there's any questions I should have asked, and I'll include them when he comes back for episode whatever it is by the time he comes back.
And subscribe.
Subscribe as well if you want to. That's up to you. But I appreciate the love, guys, and I'll see you next time. See you later.